I'd explained in my previous videos like why visceral fat is so important for you to address. Like it is the number one cause for your type 2 diabetes, brain stroke, and heart attacks, like any chronic illness. So the sooner you address visceral fat, the sooner you can actually have a very sustainable metabolic health. Now, what is exactly visceral fat? Visceral fat is the fat that is actually stored around your organs. It is something that you cannot feel, like unlike the subcutaneous fat that you can pinch under your skin, visceral fat is something that you cannot feel, like it is stored around your liver and other organs. Some cues that you can get, like when you have a belly, like if the belly is soft, it means that you don't have that much visceral fat. But if the belly is hard that you cannot actually poke into the belly, it means that you have visceral fat. Like normally for the WHO guidelines, like men should have a waist less than 40 centimeter, and your waist to height ratio should be, your waist should be actually half your height. So if now, why does visceral fat is stored around the organs? So the primary hormone that is responsible is cortisol. So what happens is, like when you are is under, like cortisol is called a stress hormone. So when you are under a lot of stress, or even like work stress or any other stress, like cortisol is elevated in your body, and that actually signals to your liver that we need energy right now. So what does the liver do? The liver actually breaks down glycogen and gets glucose into your bloodstream so that we can have an immediate burst of energy. Now, this process was designed in our system, in our ecosystem, in our ancestral period when there was fight or flight, like either we are chased by an animal or we are going to fight with an animal. So cortisol was that response to give an immediate burst of energy. But right now, like in our daily life, work stress and other stress, it's just stress. Like we don't need energy to manage that stress. So what happens is, like if say we get an email or we get some bad news or even work stress, so our cortisol gets elevated, and like we and our bloodstream is filled with glucose, but this glucose, we don't know, like the body doesn't know like what to do with this energy, because it's just a work stress. You're sitting at a desk, you're reading an email, or you have to meet your deadlines, so the body doesn't know like how to use this energy. So in that respect comes insulin. So what insulin does is takes this glucose. Insulin sees that body is under stress and starts storing this fat around your organs. So when cortisol is high, that is the time when visceral fat is being stored in your body. So you need to manage your stress, and I will actually show you some pointers that you can help to manage your stress. And once you are able to manage your stress, cortisol will ultimately come down. So if cortisol is not elevated, visceral fat will not be stored in your body. So you have to make sure that you have to give your body cues and tell, like, no, this is something related to work. This is not a stress like where I have to survive for my life. I have to fight for my life. I don't need energy for to manage this stress. So you have to have some cues that you can tell your body that this stress is not about fight or flight. Like I'm not being chased by an animal, or like I'm not going to get into a fight. It's just work related stress. So some cues are like, you should, whenever you need to stay hydrated first thing. So during the day, like even we think that we are drinking a lot of water, but we actually don't drink that much water. So just make it a habit that every hour, like in your waking period, like you are drinking water, at least a glass of water. Then the next thing that you need to follow is like breathing. When, even if you're seeing a deadlines or like work emails, like your breathing actually gets higher. So when your breathing gets higher, immediately cortisol is activated. So you need to calm your breathing. As I mentioned, I've shown in my one of my previous videos, box breathing. So you inhale for like 4 seconds, hold the breath for 2 seconds, and then exhale for 6 seconds. This provides a calming effect in your body, and it signals to your body that no, I'm not under any type of stress, because the inside of your body cannot see what is happening on the outside. So we are still have that primitive architecture in our body. We are still seeing about fight or flight, but we have to tell our body, no, this is not that type of stress, so you can calm down. So box breathing is very good. Staying hydrated is very good. Now your morning routine is very important. So when you're waking up in the morning, uh, like there is, like your body is just started from a very rest period, now it's need energy. So cortisol will get elevated at that time because it provides you energy so that you can walk, do your normal shows. But cortisol needs to subside within, so cortisol needs to subside within an hour. If cortisol stays elevated throughout the day, what it does is, like, once the glycogen gets burned out, it just goes into your muscles and starts breaking down your muscles. So chronic cortisol elevation is very bad. Like, it has got a lot of inflammatory markers as well. So you need to make sure that within waking up of an hour, your cortisol subsides. So you have to tell your body, no, this is done. We are in a safe mode. The initial the initial burst of energy that is required to start walking and do your daily activities, that's fine, but after that you should go back to your calm state. Now in this first hour, something that you need to do is, first thing that you need to do is like drink a glass of water, and if you can have a pinch of pink salt or Himalayan salt, that's absolutely good, or trace minerals or any electrolyte. So that is very, like, hydration actually gives a signal to the body that everything is a calm state. The next thing that you can do is is just do some gentle exercise. Like, I'll show in my next video what type of exercise that you need to do. Like, it just starts your body, like it has to be very low to moderate intensity, because here what we are trying to do is, because our system is filled with glucose, like cortisol had actually signaled to the liver that we need energy. So glucose, like liver has broken down glycogen, and glucose is now in our bloodstream. So now those glucose, we just need to, the body just needs to use up those glucose. So we have to do very low to moderate intensity exercise, and I will show you those exercises. It will just take 5 minutes. Do those exercises. That's all. Your body goes into a very calm effect, and then after you have done all this, then you can actually go ahead and do your normal, like drink coffee. So coffee is also an important thing. You cannot, like, when you wake up, like your body is already in a heightened stage, so now you have to reduce your cortisol level. So just waking immediately, like after waking up, if you just take coffee, like it's just the body is now always in that anxiety state, in the heightened stage. So cortisol is always elevated, cortisol doesn't go down. So you just need to make sure that, like, after doing this initial activities, give that 1 hour and then drink your coffee. So again, so morning routine, as I mentioned, drink water, do some light exercise to give the mobility to the body and just use up that glycogen, uh, that glucose that is rushing in your bloodstream. So, and then just do some box breathing. That's all. Once that is done, then you can actually go on to your, like, drink your coffee and start again. Now, starting of the day, like, should be with protein. Like, you cannot just rush in with carbs. Drink your protein first. That's very important. Once you have protein and healthy fats, then you can get some carbs as well. But if you're drinking protein and healthy fats, you don't need carbs, because that will give you a feeling of fullness. you can keep your carbs more to the lunch and rest of the day when you need other types of energy immediately. Now, so again, cortisol, like through again, like when you're going throughout the day, like now there is work stress, there is other type of stress. So if you're sitting in your desk all the time, just make sure that you are even like standing on, just like say in an hour, like you just get up and just walk in your place only, like just walk in your place for a few minutes, just get the body rolling so that it makes sure that everything is, and drink the water. So it seems like it will give an effect to the inside of your body. Like anytime when you have you get out of anxiety meeting, like very stressful meeting, just walk a little bit in place. It will just calm and soothe your whole body, because walking is very important. Like it actually gives a very calming effect to your body. You don't have to need a big place, or you don't need a treadmill in the office. You can just stand and walk in that place itself. Now if you cannot walk, like you can do like seated calf raises. So seated calf raises is also good. It actually just any glucose in your system, it just absorbs that one. um, Again, drinking water, keeping yourself hydrated throughout the day. Anytime you are getting any stress, anxiety, just walk. If you're not able to walk, just do some box breathing. And as I mentioned, just try to keep your stress levels down. Oh, and another cue that you can also do is like you can, if there is a music that you can train your body. Okay, this is a music that I hear when I'm very calm. So you can just listen to that music. So these are some cues that you can give to your body. Like, I'm not, this stress is nothing. This stress is not that fight or flight type of stress. So this is just work related stress. Everything is cool. So you can actually give tell that, you can train your body with those cues, and over time the body understand those cues and just make sure, yeah, everything's gonna, and keeps cortisol level down. Because cortisol is only thing that actually gets into, like, that is the major hormone that is responsible for storing visceral fat. And the sooner you address that one, like, you will start seeing good health. Like as soon as visceral fat is starts getting out of your body, like, and I will actually mention like some of the foods that you need to eat to make sure that you are addressing the removal of visceral fat. What I've spoken, like what I mentioned in this video is like how you can stop storing visceral fat right now. So, and then like in my next videos, I will mention like how you can make sure those visceral fat is actually removed from the system. So hope this is clear. Anything that you, if you have any comments, just let me know in the comment section, and I'll do my best to answer those. Thank you.